Just when we thought we'd seen it all, along came something that really wowed us. The world's first 4-in-1 crafting machine, the xTool M1 Ultra. This machine has 4 awesome crafting functions in one: a 10-watt laser cutter and engraver, knife cutting, pen drawing, and coolest of all, inkjet printing. Hi, I'm Sonia from Sustain My Craft Habit. MakeBlock sent us their new 10-watt xTool M1 Ultra to test out. And in this video, we're going to show you some of the different ways that you can use this really versatile machine. We'll make 7 quick beginner projects with everything from wood, paper, felt fabric, sublimation ink, and more. So let's get started.
Unboxing and setting up the xTool M1 Ultra was actually quite quick and easy. We love that xTool offers various packages so you can customize your order based on your crafting needs. The 10-watt basic bundle is quite generous and includes the 10-watt diode laser module, cutting blade, fine point blade, and a fine point pen. You can make countless projects with this configuration. However, we strongly recommend starting with the advanced bundle, which also includes the ink module. The price difference is minimal and you get all the cool functionality of that ink module. Did you know that we have exclusive xTool coupon codes? They're always changing, so head to sustainmycrafthabit.com/xTool-discounts for the latest codes. The xTool M1 Ultra Deluxe bundle is also a great option, especially if you're interested in engraving larger or cylindrical objects such as tumblers. The Deluxe bundle includes all the bells and whistles, such as the riser base with honeycomb panel and RA2 Pro. Within about 30 minutes, we had the xTool M1 Ultra out of the box and ready to craft. Our first project was engraving a wood keychain with a simple image from Creative Space. It helped us learn the marking, framing, and measuring functions and was the perfect quick little project to make. For the next project, we were keen to try the fine point cutting blade to cut out a paper snowflake ornament. Now, this functionality is similar to that of the xTool M1, although accessing and switching out the blades seems much simpler with the xTool M1 Ultra. You would use this blade to cut, for example, vinyl or other intricate designs on paper, cardstock, sublimation paper, and more. The machine comes with 2 cutting mats that you would use with the cutting blade. One is a light grip mat and one is a fabric grip mat. They have an adhesive on both sides so that it sticks to your base plate on one side, and then you can mount your material onto the other side. And you can see here, after cutting it, you'll simply peel off your design and look at this intricate cut. You could use this module for making cards, for cutting vinyl to make t-shirts and other embellishments. Really, so many possibilities. To make an ornament, we probably would have used a thicker cardstock, but we were just kind of testing out this functionality here, and look how beautiful that looks. While we're using the fine point blade tool, we wanted to show you how you can embellish a t-shirt using sublimation paper. So this paper comes pre-printed with sublimation ink that you can then press onto all sorts of different surfaces. We're doing a cotton t-shirt, and so we picked this simple butterfly design from Creative Space and set that to the blade cut function, picked the size that we wanted it, and then sent it to the machine to cut out. Because the xTool M1 Ultra doesn't have cameras inside, you can use the framing function to specify where on your design you would like the cutting or engraving to happen. So once you click on that framing tool, you'll position the cutting blade head to where you want the cut to start. Mark that, move it to a second point. If it's a rectangular shape, this sets the bounding box for where the cutting is going to happen. And then now you have an image of your workable space, and you can position your design where exactly on there you want to cut it. Now that we're all ready, we just hit start and the blade will cut the design. This was a simple design. It took less than a minute, and then we had our beautiful butterfly shape all ready for pressing onto the shirt. After removing the excess sublimation paper, we simply position the butterfly face down on our t-shirt and use the xTool mini press to heat transfer the ink onto the fabric. xTool has a growing collection of heat press devices, including their new Smart Heat Press, which we'll be reviewing soon. A great heat press makes a world of a difference for all your sublimation and iron-on vinyl crafting. And there you go. In a few minutes, we've created a cute custom t-shirt with sublimation paper cut on our xTool M1 Ultra. We were so excited to try out the printing function, which we really think is the standout feature of this machine compared to other lasers and cutting machines. We have several laser machines and none of them have this function, so it was really cool to try. The idea is that you can simply upload an image into xTool's Creative Space and then print that on a surface of your choice. Everything from wood to paper, fabric, cardboard, and more. After a pretty quick setup, we were ready to try our first project using the inkjet module. We decided to make an ornament on some basswood for my sister, for her dog Ollie. We started by securing the sheet of 3mm basswood onto the base plate using a bit of painter's tape. Otherwise, we found that it can shift as it's printing. We have the full tutorial for how to make these photo ornaments over at sustainmycrafthabit.com, but briefly we used the xTool Creative Space software to format the image after importing it, and then simply set it to print with the print head module in place. It took about 5 minutes to print this image onto the wood. It was unfinished and unpainted, and we will try different variations in the future, but I thought it was so cool how it turned out in the end. For the next step, we swapped out the inkjet module and replaced it with the laser, the 10-watt laser module. This type of project is a great example of the multi-module processing capabilities of this machine. You can see how quickly we're able to switch out the inkjet module to do the laser cutting. We could also then add in the pen drying as well as add in a blade. So you can do so many things at one time, which makes it really versatile. So you can see here that we're using the 10-watt laser module to cut around the ornament that we just printed on, or that picture that we just printed onto the balsa wood. We're using the prism risers for this particular task. And you can see how beautifully it cut the wood out. We didn't use any masking or any other preparation. We next use the same laser module to cut out the frame to create the ornament with. After gluing the pieces together and adding just a simple ribbon, we have this beautiful personalized ornament that would make a wonderful gift or even a product that you could make and sell in a business. We just love this image and had to try an engraved version as well. It's quite cool that you can easily switch between the different modules or combine the laser or engraving with the printing. It's honestly a bit hard to wrap your head around all the different possibilities and opportunities. These turned out so great, and we could absolutely imagine building a whole business around making personalized pet ornaments. xTool has plenty of resources to support small businesses. Be sure to visit their website at xtool.com to learn more. They also have amazing official Facebook groups, and we have our own called Laser Crafters Create, which is dedicated to xTool laser crafters. I'll leave the link for that below. Since we do a lot of felt projects, we were really excited to test out the xTool M1 Ultra's ability to cut out felt. It took a second to figure out that we needed to use the multifunction carriage with the rotary blade tip. You'd also use this carriage when working with the foil tip and the deep cut blade. So after switching everything out to the rotary blade, we loaded some felt onto the light grip mat. We placed it in the machine and then set it to start. We had already uploaded the succulent pattern into Creative Space and set all the settings and completed the framing. It did take us a few tries to get the pressure settings figured out, but once we did, we were able to cut out all the pieces and make these pretty felt succulents in no time. Next, we wanted to try out the gold foiling capabilities. We uploaded a cut monogram design into Creative Space and then followed the prompts to change the settings. We placed the foil tip into the multifunction carriage and then loaded that onto the module arm and locked it in place. We're going to foil this faux leather wallet, and to prep that, we simply use some masking tape to secure it onto a fabric grip mat. It's really important to make sure that it's nice and secure so that it doesn't move around. I originally made the mistake of placing a big sheet of gold foil on top, which actually got stuck to the mat. So afterwards, we trimmed the piece to size and then secured that in place with some more masking tape. Finally, we set the machine to start, and it did all the work of foil embossing the monogram onto the wallet. It was really cool to watch the foiling action. I'm excited to try this on some cardstock paper to make decorative cards for the holidays. I think we probably should have used a little bit more pressure on the faux leather. I think it turned out beautifully nonetheless. For our final project, we used our laser module to cut a handmade with love tag from leather. This was really something we'd been wanting to try for a long time and used both the engraving function and the cutting function to cut out these tags.
We hope that these beginner projects gave you a sense of all the different things you can create with the xTool M1 Ultra. We're really impressed with how easy and straightforward the setup was. And it's really easy to go from laser cutting to blade cutting to inkjet printing and back to laser cutting in no time at all. We really love how compact the machine is. It fits in pretty flawlessly in my craft space here, but then also it's not too heavy, not too bulky, so it could also be moved if I needed to. There is also a riser base that you can add to this machine, although we haven't used it for the projects that we've shown here, but it is great for other projects that you can also make. Since we do have other xTool machines, we did find using the xTool M1 Ultra along with the Creative Space software was pretty straightforward. However, with any laser cutting machine, there is some trial and error in determining what the right settings are for the different functions and different materials you plan to use. Although we miss the built-in cameras that we're used to with the other xTool machines, it really is a trade-off with the amount of functions that this machine performs for the cost. So what really wows us is the fact that you get all of these different functions in one machine. You're basically getting an inkjet printer, a laser cutter and engraver, and a blade cutting machine, all for one price. And then the modular aspect also allows you to add on the additional features and functions as your budget allows. So be sure to visit xtool.com for more information. Thank you to MakeBlock for the opportunity to review the xTool M1 Ultra, and we look forward to sharing more projects with you in the upcoming months.